The Irrational Confidence Podcast. The Boise State Broncos, they're 5-1, led by Jeanty, the man that is straight up after Barry Sanders' rushing touchdown record. They're facing the UNLV Rebels. The Rebels have been marred in controversy early on this year with the quarterback, taking the year off, going to enter back into the transfer portal, and everyone thought that they would miss a beat. Hasn't happened. They're 6-1 as well. Both these teams are undefeated in the Mountain West. Exciting times, man. You're going to be at this game. So what are you looking forward for Boise State versus UNLV?
I'm just looking at the energy from the UNLV fans. Prior to last year, they were kind of a program sort of just dormant, I think is probably the best way to put it. Barry Odom comes out there and gets them going, spearheaded by Ricky White, the third, the wide receiver, who's an absolute stud. They jumped out there and they kind of fizzled down the stretch. They were that team we were thinking, they're going to win the Mountain West. They're going to get it. They hosted the big Mountain West title game, had to play Boise State. Boise State was kind of just going through the motions. They had a coaching change mid-year, and they took them out in Allegiant Stadium and won the Mountain West. So how does UNLV respond? The last time these two teams faced, you were upset in your own conference title game, in your own arena, with everything on the line, big season, special season ahead. So how does that team come out? How does that fan base come out and really keep the anger, the focus, the business-like mentality for this ball game? Because you mentioned, everyone should know Ashton Jeanty is an absolute beast. He's the do-it-all for Boise State. As the team goes, he's going. If he's struggling, that team's probably going to struggle. He's got to be the focal point. Where does Boise State look to give someone else to become an additional option? It can't always be him, because if this team does win this ball game and they are the highest ranked conference champion of the group of five, and they go to the playoff, it's got to be more than just one player. This isn't the NCAA basketball tournament where one guy can go off for 35 or 40 like a Steph, Curry, or Jimmer Fredette and carry a team through the tournament. You need multiple players. So who's going to step up as we get these bigger games for Boise State? We already know the Broncos are a quality football team. They went to Eugene. They had a 3-point loss to the Ducks, who are number one according to the AP poll right now in the country. But who's going to layer on for the Mountain West? And help them drive home this title. Currently, there's 4 teams right now that are undefeated in Mountain West play. These two squads here are facing off in Colorado State, and San Diego State. So there's still a lot of challengers, but this is a chance right now to basically lock yourself into that title game and give yourself that pole position heading down the stretch in November. When you look at UNLV, you mentioned the quarterback situation. Early on, they go out there, they beat Kansas, coming off that big win. Apparently, there's verbal discussions about what people were owed through NIL, which, hey, from now on, every player should know, get it in writing, always have it documented from the team standpoint, the player standpoint, get everything in writing and have it notarized. Everyone thought they were going, they had a great quarterback. He was leading this charge. How are they going to be able to transition this offense to keep moving forward? Well, Malik Williams, quarterback, I believe he played at Campbell for the Campbell Camels in an FCS level, transferred out to UNLV. He's taken this thing and run with it. 838 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks. Keeps the offense in the down distance, keeps them manageable, has not lost his luster, but this is going to be the biggest game he has actually had to play in his entire career. So where's his mindset at? How's he able to adjust on the fly, keep them at pace, and move this offense? Ricky White III, the best receiver on this team, 46 receptions, 614, and 9 touchdowns. He obviously is number one on the radar. So Williams has got to get him the football as much as possible. But you also got to expand your horizons. We talked about Boise State, expand their horizons offensively outside of Jeanty. They've got to expand it out from Ricky White III, get multiple threats. The more players you have that are become options in an offense, it stretches the defense vertically and horizontally. If both these teams can expand their offensive philosophy from a personnel standpoint and an impact standpoint, it's going to turn into a big-time shootout. I expect a lot of points in this ballgame. Both these teams have been battle-tested. UNLV's their only loss was a 3-point overtime loss in Allegiant Stadium to Syracuse. So these teams have been fighting. They've been clawing. They've been very, very good all year. This is a matchup we've been kind of circled for a long time. I'm really, really excited to see the fireworks. When it comes down to it, I think Ashton Jeanty is just too much of a beast, too much of a bull in the channel shop. He's going to overwhelm that UNLV defense. The Broncos will survive Sin City and get away with the Devil staying in control of their own destiny going forward.
Fresh, the best comparison I can think of while you guys are out at Vegas is there's one of the best casinos off the strip called Ellis Island. Has a great breakfast for steak and eggs, $5 craps, $5 roulette, great drink service. And as you put it, it's a place where the locals kind of hang out. It's the local casino. But it's not the casino that has the grandeur of, the Venetian or the Bellagio. It doesn't have like the coolness factor of the Aria or Cosmopolitan, but it is just like that old school, just a fun place to hang out. I could make an argument, I believe, for this being the best game of the weekend. I legitimately think that these two teams are so evenly matched. You talked about how a player needs to step up to kind of support Jeanty for the Broncos there. You take a look at what Maddox Madsen has been doing. In the last 4 games, 10 touchdowns to 1 interception. The kid is kind of playing that complementary football where they are using Jeanty to open up the passing game. And it's been really remarkable. I also look at Boise State, 29 sacks on the year. That means right now they're averaging just under 5 sacks a game. That's where the game's going to be decided out for me. Is UNLV going to be able to keep Williams' jersey clean in this game? If Boise State is going to be able to get after the quarterback, I know Williams is a dual threat quarterback. He has the ability. He's completing 70% of his passes, which is very, very impressive for him to step into the role that he is. But then he's also got 300 yards on the ground. And he's done this in 4 games since all the hubbub happened?
Just about, 4 games.
Yeah. And so you see, like, there's an electric player on that side of the football too. And that isn't us even talking about Ricky White III. I mean, Slick Rick here, you take a look at what he's been able to do in the last 4 games as well. The dude has 36 catches, 6 touchdowns, and over 400 yards receiving, close to 450 here. This is one of the games where stars are made in the lower level. And again, I'm not referring to the Mountain West as like the FCS lower level, but this is where this game's not going to be on ABC. It's not going to be on Fox. It's not going to be on CBS. This is on CBS Sports Network. This is a late night game. It's 10:30 at night. Most of the people, unless you're a crazy football fanatic, you're not going to be watching this game. And I think you're going to miss out. So if you're going to Friday Night Lights on Friday, you're going to a high school football game. High school football game gets over about 9:15, 9:30 these days. You get home. This is the game you want to find. You want to find, if you get this network, you want to find this football game. I think this game is going to get real close. I think it's going to be decided late in the 4th quarter. Boise State right now, time records, 2.5-point favorite. I'm going to go with the Broncos just because I have so much respect for Jeanty and what he's been able to do. But the over-under is set at 65.5, and I still think even that might be low.
Hey, give me the points. Drive it up. I think got to feel I'll throw down some money in the over in this ball game just because look, touchdowns, and life's too short to bet the under. But the offensive superstars, they're going to feed up each other, and the pace is going to be dictated to score. I don't see the only way that I can see hitting the under is if UNLV's only philosophy was to really milk the clock, grind it out, 3 yards, 4 yards of a cloud of dust, control the clock, control possession, and keep Jeanty on the sideline. I mean, keep him on the sideline, he can't hurt you. That's the only way I can see them slow him down. But if Boise State comes out and starts scoring early, it's going to, whichever team dictates that pace is going to drive the result.